Well, today we're talking about the history of cinema. I'm here with Mr. Leland. Mr. Leland? Mr. Leland. Mr. Leland! Okay, this is Mr. Leland after a ridiculous amount of tranquilizers we put into him. Can you tell us your involvement with Mr. Edwards?
Well, him and I, we are colleagues.
Okay, well, in regards to the history of cinema.
Well, it was one sunny Sunday afternoon, and we were at the horse tracks. My little horse. They took him! And they killed him! It was a feast!
Okay.
It was just a feast!
Mr. Edwards. I'm talking about Mr. Edwards, okay? What was...
Excuse me.
Okay, so you were saying about the horse?
Well, the first race had just ended, and I was caught off guard. I was amazed. I do not know if I was delusional or what the case was, but I look at the horse, and the horse looked like as if it has flown. It was all its feet were off the ground.
Wait, all his feet were off the ground?
Yeah, all its feet were off the ground. I told Edwards this. He smacked me.
He smacked you?
Yeah.
Really?
He didn't believe the words that I was saying. He thought I was a psychopath. He then told me he will come up with a mechanism of figuring out if you would take many pictures of the horse running up the track. Right? It would be proof to what I had stated. My theory was running up the track, and in one certain point, its feet were off the ground.
Okay.
By the pictures.
So I understand.
Thank you.
Security, get in here and shoot him, please. Okay, we're here now with Mr. Thomas Edison.
Hi.
He's gonna talk a little bit about himself and so what were your contributions to filmmaking?
Well, in the 1890s, I consider myself the pioneer of the film industry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isn't it true that you know, stole people's ideas and pawned them off as your own?
No,
Yeah,
never.
Mr. Edison, doesn't it?
No.
Mr. Edison! Security, please. Okay, Mr. Edison.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Alright.
What about your narratives? That seems to be a essential part of what you've done.
Well, it's a good thing you brought that up. I like people, and I like to bring them together and have them like talk, like you were saying, narrative form. And there was this one time I saw this bodybuilder. He looked cute, and you know, big muscles and all. Ooh. And I brought him up to the camera and I had him talk. Yeah, flexing his muscles and going like that. Yes! Oh, I make people.
Well, thank you, Mr. Edison, for your time.
Oh no, thank you.
And hopefully, we will be able to interview you again soon.
Oh, it'll be a pleasure.
Without the beatings this time. So,
They hurt.
well, we're here with George M. George,
Oddish.
how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay. You had some sort of trouble with your camera that somehow it's contributed to filmmaking?
Most likely that's how it happened. Well, I had my camera set up one sunny afternoon, and all of a sudden the cows came running by and they knocked over my camera. It fell on the ground. I had to pick it up and put it all back together. But this time I was without a piece. I didn't know it was missing. I started recording, and I came out with this cool new perspective on the film. It looked, and this is what I found. Pretty cool, huh? You see, I can be here, I can be over here, mate.
And what was some of your work?
Well, I made a great film. It was in 1902. It was called A Trip to the Moon.
And that's the end. Alright, we're here with two documentary filmmakers, brothers, the Lumiere brothers. How you doing?
Bonjour. Oh, oui, oui.
What was your contribution to film?
In 1895, in a cafe, we projected movies in the basement. Right, brother? Oh. Oui, oui.
So, what else did you guys do?
We went around and made documentaries of everyday life. Right, brother? Oh, oui, oui.
Okay, this is the end of the interview. Okay, we're here with Mr. Griffith. So Mr. Griffith, what was your contribution to film?
In 1905, I directed my first film. Oh, just one moment. Gotta water my mole.
Okay, Mr. Griffith, there was a mistake in your last comment about your film.
I do realize that now.
It was actually 1908. We checked the records when you made that film.
My sincere apologies to all.
Okay, well, what other contributions have you made?
In 1915, I created the best film in the films industry called A Birth of the Nations.
Okay.
I made film language! I established close shots and medium shots and long shots. In 1916, I made the film Intolerance.
Well, Mr. Griffith, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
In 1914, World War I began. Film stock was in short supply abroad. Transportation and distribution was unavailable for European producers. But America was not involved until 1917, giving the Americans a 4-year head start in film. We're here with two pioneers of comedy. This is Max Linder. Hi, Max. And Max Sennett. Hi, Mac. How you doing?
Hi guys.
What are you doing with that shoe?
It's my precious.
So, Mac, what was your part in film?
Well, my work was the main line of film comedy from 1912 through the 1920s.
Mac! Okay, what other accomplishments have you made?
Well, I did discover Charlie Chaplin.
Mac, you had to finish the interview! Mac! Mac! Independent producers rose with features. And in 1918, at the end of World War I, American film achieved success.
Germany's contribution to film includes expressionism, the moving camera, lighting, set design, performance, and style, baby. UFA Studios.
Okay, we're here with Louis DeLuc.
DeLuc!
Yeah. Okay, Louis, We're gonna start the Can can I have that toothpaste first before we?
No!
No, it's just because of the interview
No!
process. Lewis.
No!
Give me the toothpaste! So, Lewis, can you tell me a little bit about French films between 1919 and 1939?
Well, our film industry wasn't making many films. It was those Americans. I hate them so much.
Okay, Lewis, it was said that only about 30% of films were French films.
Yes, you are correct, my son. The rest are from those Americans. And the Germans too, don't forget the Germans. They're snitch who killed my...
Okay, at that time there were two major firms, Gamma and Pathé, and the rest were smaller firms.
Yes, I basically created Impressionism. I had a fascination with pictorial beauty.
Yeah, then Impressionism ended in 1924.
Says who? Ah!
Okay, we had to have Lewis sedated, so I'll finish the rest of the interview. From 1925 to the end of the decade, pure cinema was being used, which consisted of short film, which were dreamlike, abstract, and surreal. French film industry was not organized and was lightly financed. Lewis. Lewis, your wife's here.
Lewis. Lewis. Lewis.
Between 1919 and 1929, these were Hollywood's prominent corporations. United Artists, Paramount, Fox Film Corporation, Golden Picture Corporation, Warner Brothers, Universal, and Columbia. By the end of the 1920s, Paramount had control over 20,000 theaters. And New York was the headquarters for distribution and exhibition. Directors were replaced by production supervisors. Some popular genres at the time were westerns,
Pow. Comedy. Problem picture.
War dramas! Action.
Adventure. Spectacle.
Race movies.
two Russian filmmakers, Vertov and Kuleshov, together left an impact on filmmaking. So, can you tell us a little bit about your history?
Between 1925 and 1929 of my life, Russia was depleted and crap. Depleted and crap. Freaking depleted and crap. Depleted and...
So, guys, what film style did you use?
Futurism.
Realism.
Futurism.
Realism.
Futurism.
Realism.
Russians used.
Juxtaposing.
Editing.
Juxtaposing.
Editing.
Okay, here we have the three masters of silent film. Alexander, V.I. Pudovskin, and Sergei Eisenstein. They also used montage. In 1924 and 1925, Warner Brothers put sound with a Vitaphone and made The Jazz Singer in 1927. Other studios didn't participate because, for one, the expense. Two, they'd be losing face to a competitor. Three, adding sound could change production technique. And they would lose actors that couldn't speak English. But by the end of the 1920s, they realized they had to participate because sound was the future.
Move your body, everybody, move your body. Come on now, everybody.